So after almost 2 years, it's back on our wheels, back on dollies.
Hey guys, it's Tuesday, March 24th. Quick update on the 68 Mustang GT Fastback. We had good weather up here this weekend, so took the time on Saturday to get the engine bay and the front clip painted in a semi-gloss or semi-satin black. Came out pretty good, happy with it. So from there, I took out, when I got the car, I also got the a TCP X support, what is the X brace and everything for the suspension to stiffen the car up. And Sunday I looked at putting that in. That's a pretty nice one. It's got the rail stiffeners and the the cross member, all the parts. You know, the rail stiffeners, you can see that unfortunately it looks like a lot of the powder coating is flaking off. You know, again, this came with the car. Probably was laying somewhere where it was wet, as far as I know. So right now I'm in the process of also putting together the front end, getting the parts on there, and everything is painted. And we're gonna have the it's all original. It's all mostly original style. Not really anything new on there other than maybe the lower control arms and the ball joints. And I've rebuilt the calipers. Those are rebuilt, so hopefully they go on. Hopefully they work. That'd be great. But when I was looking at the installing the frame rail stiffeners for the TCP system, when I put them underneath the car, I realized I found out a couple of things about the car, stuff that was done before I got it, and so I'm paying the price for it. And one of the things that's wrong with it, if you get under the car, I don't know if you could see, but whoever installed the frame, the floor stiffeners, they're not level. The one on the passenger side looks like it's a little bit higher. You know, I kind of had a feeling when I put the floor in because there was a hump in that area. So, I mean, you know, after I found out about that the other day and another problem, I was considering not even putting it in, but I think I'm going to modify it and probably kind of figure out the height of that. Wherever it ends up. But the other problem is that if you look at the frame rails where they end, this frame rail here looks like it's too far backwards by an inch and a half or so. It really should end right here. And looking at the front of the frame rail, it doesn't go all the way up to the corner of the the floor support doesn't go all the way up to the corner of the frame rail. So, like I said, I was thinking about abandoning it and not using it, but I think all I'm going to do is I think I'm going to end up just cutting this back a little bit, folding the piece up, and tacking it all together nice and solid. I'm also going to have to split it because this frame, the floor stiffener support, is also wider than the pocket in the rail connector. So I'm going to modify. I think I am going to end up putting it in. It was just going to be more work than I want to do than I planned on anyways. So that's where we're at with this car right now. Just a little update. And that's about it. I hope everybody's being safe. You know, I know I took the week off from work to try to do my part to keep this virus from spreading. And again, we have good weather today, so I'm going to take advantage of it. All right, everybody, have a good day. Goodbye.
Painted the engine compartment last Saturday. Spent this week putting all the suspension back together as much as I can. Waiting for the bolts for the steering box. I don't have those. Started with the brake lines. I'm gonna look and see if I have a fastener kit in the boxes of the stuff that the guy had. Shocks. I need a support. I have the original two-piece one, but I'm gonna get a one-piece for firewall support and everything. probably the original rotors. I had those refinished. They returned just enough meat on those. Figured I might as well use them. Original calipers rebuilt. New pads, new hardware. Also, in the last video I made, I talked about the support, frame rail support system that's under the car. I was not sure if I wanted to use it. I decided to go ahead and use it, and I installed that. Probably took me 2 days to do. So it actually really came out really good. It's all in place. The only thing is those 2 bolts. I replaced the other 2 on the inner side. They're probably like about a quarter of an inch too short because I ended up using all the shims that came in the kit. Actually, the welds came out pretty good. You know, it's kind of hard welding with the flux core welder. You know, a lot of this metal is dirty. Some of it is galvanized, I believe. But the welds came out really good, being upside down and everything. I ended up cutting both of the backs of the floor supports in order for this section here to ride up in. They would be back here. And I'm not sure if that's required in the kit. I don't have any instructions that came with it, so like I said, I ended up cutting them and boxed them back in with metal just to give them more support. But generally overall, really happy with it. Came out good. I will, next time, if I do another car, you know, after dealing with the floor on this one, and the floor support's not exactly being true, I think I would have saved a whole lot of time by doing a floor, a complete floor from the drop-off panel back there all the way up. It would have saved me a lot of time. This floor is a little rough, but you know, it's going to be covered with carpet and seats, so it's sturdy. Not going to be anything wrong with it. It just doesn't, it's not as pristine on the bottom as you would want it to be. So, well, that'll be it for now. Take care.